At long last, welcome back to the Nuff Said podcast. Hey, Lil, how you doing, man?
I'm all right. Are we still doing this?
I think we are as of now. I am the returned Rob Southgate, and with me is the not prepared.
I totally forgot. It's been so long.
I so did that on purpose. So, Alil, yeah, we're doing this again. We're back. In fact, we took, like a year off. Thank God Phil and Charlie and Ken filled in for us. But I say we're back, and we've got about 4 weeks before the new season, or the last part of the season starts up. Let's power through. Let's get all caught up. So get ready. We're going to drop a couple episodes on you a week going forward. This episode, we are discussing the end of last season. So we're going back in time. Season 4, episode 20, Farewell Cruel World. Season 4, episode 21, The Return. Season 4, episode 22, World's End, which really was the one before the last episode and then the last episode, which was a two-parter crammed together. Before we do that, I want to get into our social media here. We should give this up front, especially since we've gotten so good about responding to things, and since we haven't been here, nobody's really playing ball. So follow us on Twitter at Nuff Said Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at Nuff Said Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at, Alil, do you know what it is?
No, I don't.
Nuff Said Podcast. You can also support us on Patreon. Right now, we have one supporter on Patreon. On Patreon, it is Nuff Said Podcast. Or if you want to support the entire network, we do have a Patreon for that. Some people want to do that instead, and that's actually where most people are going right now. That is under Southgate Media Group. So if you go to Patreon and click on or type in Southgate Media Group or Nuff Said Podcast, you can support us either way. We also have a YouTube channel under Southgate Media Group, and there is a Nuff Said playlist. And if we get this together, where we're doing the live Google Hangout thing, we'll put our live thing with Alil and I, with our beautiful faces. Yeah, you guys don't get to see. I've grown a beard since we last talked. We'll have one feed for that, and then we'll have one feed that's audio only with the video, because we've got a lot of listeners that have told me they actually listen to our podcast through YouTube, but they don't watch the video. So why not give them an option that doesn't use up as much bandwidth? Or you can email us at nuffsaidpodcast@gmail.com. Last thing, if you want to leave us a message, we will try and play them on the show. There is a link on our webpage, southgatemediagroup.com/nuffsaidpodcast. In the upper right-hand corner, it's a link that says leave a message. It's actually a sneak pipe link, which I'm opening myself up for something there with you, Alil. But if you click on that, you can record right there. I think you get like a 90-second thing you can add. So if you got theories or thoughts or anything, you want to call us names, that's where you do it. And all right, I think that's it. Business is out of the way. Let's get into it, Alil.
Yeah, so I don't think we should talk about these as separate episodes. I mean, like you already the titles, Farewell Cruel World, The Return, and World's End. But I want to ask you, like, I guess if we go, what do you think out of these 3 episodes? Because I mean, are we going to break it down? I mean, I'm sure everyone who's already seen it.
They're not watching it and going through beat by beat with us at this point. I mean, it's been a while. Although I will tell you, I didn't watch any of this. In fact, I was about 5 episodes behind these. So I went back and I watched those 5, got all caught up, and then I watched these 3, took crazy notes, and thought the same thing you did. I don't think we really need to cover it beat by beat. We can just kind of go through
talk about it.
Now, you were going to ask like which one I thought was the strongest, or
yeah.
It's really hard to say. I think that 21 was the weakest.
The middle, the
middle one,
the opening of the finale, because they did it as a 2-parter.
Yeah, it was kind of like they were treading water there. I liked episode 20. I mean, there's obviously. There's stuff in it that I'm gonna go, yeah, okay. We were stretching a little bit. The Mac thing went on a little bit long. I get that they were building to something. Maybe if they hadn't had that 21st episode, I wouldn't have felt this way. But over the course of 3 episodes, it was like, okay, we're playing that one out a little bit much. The Ada stuff was fantastic. In fact, I didn't feel it was fantastic earlier in the season. It was all right. I mean, I kind of liked where I liked the framework. I liked the Evil Fitz was fantastic.
Yeah, he was.
But I like the whole Ada storyline. I was like, I could see where it was going, and it wasn't doing anything for me. But in these last 3 episodes, she had a complete arc of what was going on. I love when she turned like nuts. I thought we were watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend at one point. She went completely off her rocker when Fitz is like, and his scene was great too. And he was like, I had to choose one. And it's like they both said the names like me. And he goes, Simmons. What? I love that. Yeah.
So I also like you said, Evil Fitz. I mean, especially when Gemma kills his father in the framework.
Oh my God!
Like it's a great story arc to show kind of like how, like we know that his father wasn't a part of his life, in the original series, and like seeing like how different it might have been. We know, I mean, Ada's manipulating everything here, so I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but
no, that's not how it would have been. She was trying to give him his father, because didn't he indicate that his dad was kind of a bad guy before this?
He did, and that's what I'm saying. Like
his dad wasn't there, but his dad was a bad guy. Here, they're all part of Hydra, but I think this was her version of his father.
That's what I'm saying. I doubt if he kind of followed his father, like listened to his father rather than go off on his own thing, would have turned out this way. But it's kind of a unique storytelling tool that Ada was manipulating this and kind of brought it. And I like the actor who played the father. He was
Alistair.
Yeah.
You know what? I will say also, I really dug when they came back in that last episode, and I love how they were playing it, that they had like complete memories
of everything,
of the framework. Because going into the framework, they didn't have the memories, you know, and there were little things that were clues, and you would get them like earlier in the season, especially like something would happen or somebody would walk by and they'd kind of stop for a second, but then they would just go on. It was like having deja vu sort of. But now they have these memories, and I love that they kept saying that they were having to reconcile this,
Yeah, I mean, especially Fitz. I mean, Fitz.
Oh man, Fitz
was really ready to turn himself in, and
But he's going like, I killed hundreds of people. I did torture. Like he like remembers all of this. Imagine waking up and you're like, you have full memories of being Hitler. Like, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It was good. It was a great turn, but. I mean, of course, we're going to say the highlight here. I mean, the highlight, which has been the highlight of this whole season, has been Ghost Rider.
I was just going to say, so the end of episode 21
is where he comes back.
He comes back, and that was by far the highlight of that episode. It wasn't a bad episode. It was just a little treading water, But when Ghost Rider came back, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I wish we had gotten more, but we're always going to say that. I wish in that last episode we had gotten more Ghost Rider, but they gave us that sweet fight with him and Daisy. And I love when Coulson runs in.
Sweet though, like
it was.
Oh, and even Coulson coming in there and
that was funny when Coulson ran and he's like, I missed it.
I love his reaction because that's Coulson.
Right, that's what I loved, and there could have been a lot more to it.
Exactly. I mean, he flipped one guy in the air and she quaked him apart.
But a little when he was using his chain, he decapitates that LMD, which was fantastic because when it happened, you're like, wait, oh yeah, LMD. He cuts the other LMD in half. It was fun. You got to see him do what you wanted him to do, but it's ABC, it's primetime TV. They're not going to show him ripping a person in half and have guts go everywhere, right? So we got some of that in a way that they could safely do. I enjoyed that.
I guess I wish there was more baddies, more of them kind of
Yeah, and less of the Russian.
Their powers kind of thing. You know, I mean, it's like I look at. I'm not comparing. I mean, it's not like Star Wars or even like, you know, when Cap and Thor or Cap and Iron Man kind of team up and you get kind of like a wow moment. I kind of got a okay moment. But
yeah, it wasn't a wow. It should have been a wow when the two of them started doing their thing.
Yeah,
but I guess I'm happy with the scraps because I enjoyed it, especially maybe since I haven't watched it in a year, and watching, like, having it build up and then finally getting this fight, I was like, I'm in. I'm happy. But, you know, watching it a second time, I'll probably feel exactly like you do.
Yeah, and again, I'm not poo-pooing it. I'm not being the sad sack like I was earlier as we were doing the podcast before the last few seasons. I really did like all of this. I thought this was actually a lot better than season 3 and season 4.
Well, if you go back, was it in season 3 or season 4 where we were talking about how we thought for sure it was going to get canceled?
Yeah,
because it was getting
both seasons. I thought they were going to be canceled,
and it really, like, the Ghost Rider stuff was really cool, and then this.
That's the problem is that's the only thing that saved it here.
But the second half of this season, but the story did get good. It got really good when in this last 3 episodes, when it defined the Ada stuff, when it gave us that last stuff in the episode, when they were having the memories of the framework, when the framework was collapsing, that was fantastic. Of course, we all knew that his kid was going to disappear while she was in his arms, you know. And I kind of wish, I don't know, it was just played out. I was expecting it way too much. They could have had a death there. They couldn't have a Trip death, or I'm sorry, a Mac death, though, because then you would have killed both black guys in that episode.
They should have found a way to bring Trip back.
They totally should have.
I mean, they had it there. I mean, you know, we got Brett Dalton back. We got, you know,
and you know where it should have happened. You know where it should have happened was, so they know that Ada was able to do that 3D printer of herself, right?
Yep.
It should have been when Yo-Yo went back that Mac, maybe he's the one that figures out, like, here's how she uploaded. But he's not able to do it for his daughter because she disappears. So now he's like, so he's hell-bent that he's got to save somebody, and he saves Trip. That would have been great.
Yeah, but he didn't know Trip. You know what I mean? Like,
but he knew that Trip was part of the team.
But Yo-Yo didn't either. But he didn't. But, you know, Trip and him had a bond before, kind of. You know, I mean, they were part of the team before. Like, I don't know. Like, they could have played it out that way. It would have been something. I mean, maybe it was Gemma that was still back there and figuring it out. You know, or even Daisy. I mean, Daisy and Trip were close.
Actually, Daisy, when she was doing that thing and trying to open the portal and they all jumped in, I was really thinking as that was playing out that she's not going to make it in because she's got to hold that portal open. And maybe that would have been what it was, is she got stuck. Then you see all the hell break loose, and they're like, we got to get her back. And Yo-Yo's like, hey, what about Mac? And they're like, he's lost. He's not coming back. And they go back, and that's when they figure all this out. Maybe that would have been it. Maybe she would have, you know, when his daughter disappears and he can't save her, then Daisy's like, look, here, you know, like Yo-Yo could say, we saw Ada came back. She did it with this technology, and then it all makes sense to Daisy, or it makes sense to Mac, and that's how they save Trip. They didn't need to save Ward. We don't need to have Ward die, come back, alien, dead, come back, dead, you know, not again. But Trip, I could have used Trip.
True, but, I mean, come on. I mean, Brett Dalton, I mean, he was a guest on the show. We got to have him back, right?
Oh, yeah, no, he could be a recurring character on this show.
I'm sure he'll love that.
He's like, I'm in line behind Jack. Did you notice that Alistair looked a lot like Liam Neeson? There were shots.
Did he?
Yeah, watch it again. They do this shot that's kind of down below, and his facial structure, like his nose and his chin, looked totally like Liam Neeson. Well, I can't say an older Liam Neeson because now Liam Neeson's getting older, but it totally looks like Liam Neeson in that train movie that he's doing. What's it called? Taken on a Train?
I know the. I know
you are
the
not
trailer.
taking my daughter on this MF and train. What?
That's not the movie. No.
Yeah, same thing. Let's see what else happened on here. Alistair tried to choke out Simmons. She shoots him. We already talked about that. Yeah, once again, these are things that are easy. Like, it's happening. I wasn't shocked. I'm like, they start wrestling. I'm like, they show the gun. Like, it was telegraphed way early. But you know what? It might just be because we watch so much freaking TV that we start seeing all these same things play out.
I mean, movies, TV, it's all. I mean, that's the problem.
Thing.
But I do want to give some credit to Radcliffe. I liked his turnaround in his character. I was sad. I thought his death scene was fantastic. When he was watching the sunset and then he just disappeared and there's just silence there for that second. You didn't even hear the glass hit the ground.
And that was great too, because he was talking about how he wanted immortality, and this isn't what I wanted. This isn't it. And if we think about him earlier in the season when this was all going down, like he was, being suckered in by the Darkhold and everything, it was like we went from thinking he was a bad guy to thinking he was a good guy to thinking he's a bad guy, to now we're going, oh, he really was manipulated. He's not a purely good guy, but I felt bad for this guy, how everything fell apart for him. I thought it was a great scene. Yeah,
I mean, I'm going to miss the character.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, his character reminds me of, one of my favorite television shows of the last 20 years was House. So he's got that kind of that hue. I mean, not because they're both
British, and not just because it kind of looks like him a little bit, but because
like how
he's almost like an anti-hero. Like, he's a bad guy, but he's not. And yeah. They should have had a mummy come out of the sand and pull him down in. That would have been the perfect ending for that guy. He was in the Mummy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I remembered it just wasn't a funny joke, so I was just going to keep it silence and hope that
I've been holding that one for a year. Come on, man.
Hope that the audience picked that up. No, but so I enjoyed that. Did you also catch when Ghost Rider opened up the portal at the end? What it looked like?
Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the Doctor Strange effects. Yeah. It was awesome, though. Now, when he went in there, I was going to ask you about this. When he went in, could you recognize where he went?
No. It looked like that place that Gemma was lost at, but I doubt it was the same place.
Well, here's what I wonder. I have heard so many rumors about who's going to be in Infinity War and what they're going to do in 1 and 2. And there is a big rumor, because I guess that actor was seen on set, that they're going to have Ghost Rider pop in. Could they do a cameo where he walked through that and he's on a plane with Doctor Strange for a few minutes? Could it be something like that? Or am I just going, please make it happen? I want Ghost Rider to show up.
I think you're nuts. I mean, I don't see it happening. I mean, I know they said, there's like 1 billion people in this, but it's like, it seems all the TV people are being left to the sides.
I don't know.
Like, there was a lot of the people they talk about. Really, you're going to get like 4 or 5 of the people that are like the mainstays in Black Panther. It's going to be all the people. You're not.
But there was that report recently. What did they say? There were 62 heroes in this or something.
Not heroes. They said 62 characters.
Now
they keep
changing it. But there was another one that the directors just said, where they said it was like there were 15 more, and the indication was it's somebody that you're familiar with. It's like, well, who would this be? And people were speculating, is it TV characters? Is it going to be the Netflix characters? Are they going to finally even give us a glimpse of them? You don't think so?
No.
It's not going to be. People were saying the X-Men. It's not going to be the X-Men. No. That's not what's going on. I would not be surprised if they didn't put a thing at the end in the post-credits, even if it's just Wolverine's claws or something.
They can't yet.
Yeah, but...
No, because that deal's not even final yet.
Yeah,
Comcast is now trying to get in.
That's not going to happen.
It doesn't matter if it's going to happen or not. Final. The deal's not final. They don't own them, so they can't use them.
Yeah. Interesting. Unless maybe they made a backdoor deal that they could do that just as a teaser. I don't know. Frankly, I don't care. They've got enough characters in this thing. But I would love it if they brought even a few of the TV characters. They don't have to get all the Defenders in. They don't have to get all the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Show me a couple of characters so I know that the universes are tied. They never have to do anything more with tying those together, but us as the fans would go, boom, complete universe. That is one of the sticking points for me where it feels like the DCEU mess. I mean, that is a mess over there, as we know. And they've got all these TV properties, none of them tied to the movies. Then they say, oh, there's a Flashpoint where we're going to tie them all together. You are out of your mind. You're going to actually have multiple threads of movie universes because of the Batman and all that crap. So I'm afraid Marvel keeps toying with that same crappy thing. You know, give me one character. Give me, and I would even say go as deep as show some of these characters that they're toying with now. Like, I don't know, have you watched The Runaways yet?
Not yet.
Oh, Lil, it's fantastic. Did you read the book?
A while back. I don't remember it.
I absolutely love the book. I read the what was it, an 8-issue story arc or whatever recently again. And I completely love it. And the first episode of the show is spot on. Like, they really follow this the way it's supposed to. The characters are right. The tone is right. When they reveal the reveal, it's awesome. I can't say enough good things. Now, are they going to tie in stuff like Gifted and all that? No, because like you said, they don't own it. But tie in the stuff that they own. Tie in some of that Defender stuff, even if it's on the cover of a magazine in a shot where you see the four of them, or you see, they're not going to do the Runaways, I'm sure. By then, Cloak and Dagger doesn't come out till next year, right? So they won't put Cloak and Dagger in. But you got to put, I mean, at least put Coulson. Or
they did Coulson. I mean, Coulson came from the movies.
I know.
They had it doesn't Colby exist. Smulders. They had Sam Jackson and both.
I know, and I'm saying but then they act like they're like, you know, TV deniers. You know, it never happened.
No, nobody said it never happened. It's just
they're acting like
Reds went the other way.
When they brought Coulson back, Joss Whedon, even though he's the producer on the show, said, "Nope, he's dead." So this show is a completely different thing. Yet they brought in Sam Jackson. They brought in Colby Smulders. Come on. I say lock up a couple of these, you know, lessers like they did with Sif. You know, somebody who's not Thor, let's say, but lock some of these up and get them to do a cameo next season. I think that would be unbelievable. I'm saying next season because I haven't watched any of these yet. Watch, you're going to be like, Rob, you didn't know Iron Man is in 4 episodes this season.
No, I haven't watched any episodes yet.
I haven't watched anything. I've heard it's really good. I'm really looking forward to it.
I hope so.
I've heard nothing but good things.
I haven't heard anything, so I sure hope so. I don't know. I mean, I've wanted to not. I haven't really looked at any of any articles or any spoilers or anything, just because when I watch it, I want to.
Yeah, I want it to be. Fresh.
I want it to be fresh.
I mean, you know what I do, so. I get stuff all the time about what's going on.
Yeah, so do I. Just choose not to read.
Yeah, but I kind of have to. Like, I have to listen to Capes and Lunatics, and they talk about this stuff. I listen to Fandom Zone; they're talking about this stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
You don't have to listen to them to edit their shows.
I don't even edit their shows anymore. I got the sweet deal going on. But I do listen. I want to be supportive, and I want to hear what they've got going on, and they're good shows. So, but I would like to say the big boy is back. So get ready, Capes and Lunatics. That's a throwdown. Boom.
Okay.
I hope they're running scared. So what else? There was, you know what? So the bottom line is, it was a great ending to the season, I think.
And yeah, I mean, I'm curious if the Darkhold will make any kind of return.
I think the Darkhold went to Doctor Strange's shelf.
And that's what I would like to see. I would like to see some kind of.
It's supposed to go there, and maybe that's all it is. You know, maybe that's the only thread that we see. Is it? They do a shot, and if you catch it that it's sitting on his shelf or on a table there.
Maybe that'd be kind of cool.
I would go with that. I didn't like the Russian. The Russian bored me, and when he was multiple Russians, I didn't care. I preferred the other LMD stuff going on. I didn't.
Right, and I like the Gemma LMD fake out, which you kind of knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew it was going to happen, but it was still fun. The absolute best moment for May was beating the guy with the hammer.
Yeah,
that was. I mean, I watched it like 3 times. She jumps on his back. She's just clocking this guy. I'm like, look at that rage. Go May. I love May.
I just don't want the May Coulson love fest to go on. But
it's been coming for a while, and
I don't want it.
I don't care.
I don't want it.
They've got to have a relationship in here. It's either that or they go back to the Fitzsimmons on again, off again, on again, off again. They can't do that. So now go ahead, let them have this relationship, and then don't do a lot with it. Let it be, and I'm fine with that. Then they're the mom and dad of this group. I'm okay with that. At least they didn't do a lot with like they didn't make reference to the Inhumans, like going into the but at this point the season hadn't started, so they could have been really like they could have ended the season hyping the Inhumans.
It's true.
What a train wreck. I'm hoping we don't turn it on and it's like the first episode is a big tie-in to the Inhumans. We're putting all our eggs in this basket. It's going to be so good.
Man, I couldn't even finish that series.
No. No, if it was the original Nuff Said, when Jack and I were doing it, we would have tortured ourselves and done a speed through and talked about every episode. I'm not doing that to you. I'm not doing that to me. Nope. It's a new era for Nuff Said. We're not doing it.
It's a new era where we just are too lazy to even bother with it. So
it takes us a year to get this out. We're not watching Inhumans. No, I mean, I turned that on, and what did I say on This Week in Geek? I think Powerless, I made it like to the minutes. Credits. No. I think I made it 10 minutes into Inhumans, and I finally just was like, oh my God, it's been 10 minutes, and it feels like it's been an hour. It was so bad. Powerless, I made it literally to the opening credits, and it like there was nothing redeeming. That should never have made it to TV. I don't care what Charlie says. Charlie liked it.
Really?
Yeah, he liked it enough that he'd always say, it's not bad. I like the mythos or whatever. He's out of his mind. Out of his mind. By the way, Charlie posted today, Charlie Esser, Professor Esser, that this isn't private. He put it all over Facebook. He had lost his job, and then the same place a week ago, same place called him today and hired him back. So Charlie Esser has a horseshoe up his butt. Way to go, Charlie. Congratulations.
Congrats. And hope you didn't use that week off to watch The Inhumans.
Or Powerless. I know what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to watch Powerless and The Inhumans. That's like when I was sick. We were going to do our award show, and I was so sick, and I went to the library and got all the worst movies from last year, because one of our categories was worst movie, and I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do Power Rangers, and I'm going to do Transformers and The Mummy, and I mean, it was just one bad one after another, even though I didn't. When you watch the Transformers a little back to back with these, you realize how incredibly bad it is and how the rest of them are just mediocre. Yeah. It's a different perspective to try to power through. It's like when I sat through the 13 hours of Lord of the Rings movies in one sitting. You get a different perspective. Are you going to do when they come out with Avengers with the new Avengers? Are you going to go to the theater and do the 46 hours of Marvel movies in one sitting?
No.
Come on, Lil. You get a medal.
Why? I don't care. I have them on Blu-ray.
But you get a medal.
Watch them at home.
You get a medal. Don't you want the medal?
I already watched these movies nonstop anyway. Like, at least once a week, and in the background sometimes as I'm doing household chores,
I don't expect you to be sitting there staring at it.
I will have a movie on.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I know these movies like the back of my hand. Even my kids, because we were watching the last episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then when Ghost Rider did the open the portal, my son looks, he's like, hey, that's the same thing that Doctor Strange does. And I look at him and I'm like, you are ready, my son.
Yeah, right. Young Padawan.
I mean, he picked it up at 7 years old. I'm like, should be blatantly obvious to everyone else. It's all connected.
Yeah, but on your other show, they don't pay attention to any of that. Unless it's got a cowl on, they don't care.
True, but what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So Stan Lee was sick. Is he? Have you heard any updates? Last I heard is he was doing okay.
He was fine. He was released from the hospital.
What was it?
He's fine. Mild, like a heart arrhythmia.
Okay. And, he's what, 95?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's sad to say, but it's only a matter of time. But it's good that he's strong enough that he got through that.
Yeah.
So that will be a sad day, but we avoided it for now, true believers. How about, did you see the news today? IMDb, there's that controversy where all those DC fanboys are going to try to sabotage
Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes, not IMDb. And the embargo lifted, so they were able to put the reviews, and the Rotten Tomatoes score was 100%.
Of course it is. I mean,
and the fan review was 98%. I don't know if there's any shenanigans going on with Rotten Tomatoes,
it makes no sense that the fan review is 98%. That still makes no sense.
Well, that's because the only people that saw it were the people that went to the preview, and they walked out and went, "Oh my god!"
Oh no, it's just who wants to see it. They don't have a fan review score yet. It's just wants to see it 97%.
Okay.
So yeah, out of 61 reviews right now, Black Panther is at 100%. I mean, it's on pace to where Thor was when.
Now, I don't think Thor deserves to be 100%. I really enjoyed Thor, but it's not 100%. I mean,
it's not 100% overall either. But Thor, I think it ended at. I think it was pretty high. I want to say 92%.
Okay.
With like an 88% fan. Yep, I'm looking at it right now. Yep, 92% with 88% fan score. People are like, "Oh, it's an A movie." It's not an A movie. I mean, the average rating of it was a 7.5 out of 10. So you're looking at like a C plus B, minus grade overall for the film.
I'd give it a B.
Majority of the people loved it. I loved.
See, I'd give it a B, but I loved it. There's a difference between is it a great movie or did you have a great time with it? I had a great time with it. There was a lot to love in that movie.
Agreed. I mean, there was nothing I didn't like in that movie.
I love Doctor Strange too. I've gone back and watched that again recently, and oh my gosh, I can't believe that how many people I run into that love that movie because it's not as accessible as the other ones. It's not a character like Thor that everybody like. Most people hadn't really had contact with Doctor Strange, but God, a lot of people love it, and I really love it. I think it's awesome. Are they doing a sequel? Have we heard anything? We don't have anything about Phase 4, right?
Nothing's going to be announced until after the fourth Avengers movie. I mean, so
wait,
it's going to happen.
They're holding it that long?
Yeah, there's going to be no announcement because they say whatever happened because the fourth Avengers movie is going to change the whole cinematic universe.
Right, that's what they say.
So I mean, we're right now we got Black Panther, then we got Infinity War, then we got Ant-Man and Wasp, which looks awesome.
Then we have Captain Marvel.
Then we have Captain Marvel, then Avengers 4, and the only thing we know is that July after Avengers 4 is the sequel to Spider-Man Homecoming.
Right. And
Feige said that basically that's where we're going to see kind of the aftermath, the first aftermath from the fourth.
So we don't know anything. Well, no, we also know Guardians 3.
2020.
Yeah, we don't have anything specific, but we know Guardians.
That can move as well, and we don't even know what the Guardians at that point will look like. If it will be the Guardians in their current incarnation. I mean, it could be a lot of different things, especially because that group has changed.
Right. Plus, they've said there's a Black Widow movie.
Well,
I really want.
I don't think that's not official. We don't know where that's going to fall in.
Yeah, I want that. I really want it. I don't care if
we're go see Jennifer Lawrence as Black Widow because
in Red Sparrow. No kidding. I watched that trailer today and I'm like, this is Black Widow.
Yeah, I saw it over. I think I saw it the first time with Star Wars, and that's the first thing I said. I look over and I'm like, "What the blank? This
Yep.
is black."
But they beat him to it.
Yeah,
That was Marvel's mistake. They should have right after Avengers. They should have gone right into production for a Black Widow film because everybody loved her in that, and it was like all of a sudden you're like, she's awesome. Then they did that thing they just did with the Hulk and Thor. They made her the other hero in Cap, and it was like that's great, but I want her story. I want to see, and I really do. I know that some people are like, "Oh no, we don't want a Russian espionage," but yeah, I do. I want you've got the political thriller with Cap. I want a spy, a flat out spy thriller. And I want it to be better than any James Bond ever was. I want it to be Casino Royale times 10. That's what I want.
See, when you look at a spy movie, and I'm not saying anything that I want a Black Widow movie, my wish would be more of a Budapest with her and Hawkeye together.
That would be great.
That would be a curiosity. But like, if I look at a spy movie, kind of wanted it to be Nick Fury. He is, as Tony says, the spy of all spies, and that's what I would expect.
If they were going to do that, I want him to go back and do the old Nick Fury, like do a retro Nick Fury film. Make it like an Austin Powers. Yeah.
Or Shaft, like that they already did.
Yes. That's what I want to see. Maybe we should watch Shaft again and make it part of the MCU.
Have it be Nick Fury, like his code name was Shaft, but it's actually Nick Fury.
I mean, the doing the CGI to give him an eye patch can't be worse than Superman's mustache. It cannot. So just give him the eye patch in Shaft and retag it Nick Fury.
No, because Shaft was before the eye patch, because it looks like Captain Marvel might tell us where the eye patch is. Captain Marvel's in the 90s.
All right.
That might tell us where we get the eye patch.
All right. I'm down with that.
Maybe. Well, I guess we'll see. I mean, that's the thing here. I get why there was no Black Widow movie. You've laid the foundation. I mean, Hawkeye didn't get his own movie either. You laid the foundation.
Hawkeye's the story they should do with Hawkeye, since they like to tell different types of stories, is they should go to that, what is it, Aja, his storyline, where it's about Hawkeye and he owns the apartment building and he's got these tenants and he's trying to be a hero. That's a completely different take. That would be awesome. That would be an awesome Hawkeye movie. If you make it just, hey, superhero Hawkeye movie, there's no reason.
I don't know.
That's how I feel.
I think it's the MCU is too big for solo films at this point, unless you go back in time. And if you don't, then it's going to be a team up for the most of it. I mean, we knew that was going to be the problem. Iron Man 3, the biggest thing everybody kept saying is, well, if this was happening, why didn't he call Cap or any of the other guys?
Right.
And we kept hearing that as the big problem, and I think they took it to heart. I mean, that's why you see now every one of these,
they've got to have multiple heroes.
Team up. Yeah. I mean, and I think that might be a reason why the dynamic will change after Avengers 4, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing, unless after Avengers 4, they decide to do New Universe, and they wipe out all the characters, and then we've got, like, the DP7 and Starbrand. That would be terrible. Although I want to see a Starbrand movie.
I don't even know why
I want to see a DP7
say
movie.
That, because it's never going to happen. No, what I'm thinking is because maybe there'll be some
It might happen heroes. Because if something happens to Feige and I get made president... Green light Rom. We don't have Rom. Green light it.
I will be your secretary. Okay, if that happens,
and you will sing "Happy Birthday" to me, Mister.
I will every day. Every day, but it won't happen.
Oh yeah. All right, are we done? Did we go through this already?
I think we did. I mean, I think we summed it up a bit. I think it was a good finale. I think so far, it's. Outside of the second half of was it season 1 or season 2 when Dalton turned? It was season 1, right?
Yeah, it was halfway through.
The second half of season 1, with the fall of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think this is my favorite season. I think that's because of Ghost Rider, really.
Yeah, me too. Me too. The Ghost Rider thing, and then this ending, the way it played out with Ada and all that was great.
Well, and I did like seeing this alternate S.H.I.E.L.D.
I did too. Agents of Hydra was awesome.
I do wish we would have got a little Hydra Cap Easter eggs or something in there. Just even if they had like his shield with the Hydra logo like hanging on a wall or something.
That would have been
like, people would have gone insane.
That would have been astounding. Yeah, missed opportunity.
It is, but I guess we'll have to see. And I guess what's your prediction since we haven't seen it?
I have no predictions. They're in space. They're in space.
Are we getting Sword? Is this finally Sword?
It could be. They're in space. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're not bringing any space people that we are necessarily familiar with unless they're fighting Kree. Maybe we're going to start seeing a Kree invasion. Maybe it is Sword. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think we have to see Kree. I mean, it's almost impossible not to.
And if we're seeing Kree, I mean, we saw the pictures of Captain Marvel in the green. That's a Kree storyline. Maybe they are going to let this tie in. We're not going to see them intermingle, but maybe they will let this tie in a way like they have done in the past, but they seem to have pushed away. Maybe they'll bring that back.
Yeah, maybe.
So do you have predictions, or is it just kind of they're in space like I think?
Well, I mean, I think they're in space.
I know Howard the Duck's not going to be in it.
That is disappointing.
That's you know what? There's my prediction.
I don't think we're going to get what we hope from them being in space, but maybe it'll be a good enough storyline. I mean, because I hope this leads into like a Kree Skrull.
I also hope they do that like half season storyline thing, because that worked really well for me.
It did. I did like that. And where are we at already? They're already at episode 10, I think, right?
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah. So then they're going on they're on hiatus now
for 4 weeks.
Yeah. So that would make sense at this point to break it up. I like that idea. Hopefully they do that, and hopefully get Ghost Rider back.
Yeah, make it the Ghost Rider show. I'd be down with that.
I mean, I don't know why ABC. I mean, I guess it's cost because I mean, they did a good job with the CG on Ghost Rider. I'd have to admit, and his look, but it's just not on screen long enough. So I'm guessing that cost is just ridiculous.
Yeah, which is why they took half a season off with him too.
For sure.
What you get 2 seconds of him at the end of that episode. He walks out of the thing, and you're like, "Whoa!" That probably cost him quite a bit to do that little walk out of the fire.
Yeah, that's sad. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Hey, we got something. I'll take it.
We did. Enough said.
I'll take it. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna end it.
All right.
So once again, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon, YouTube. Just look up Nuff Said Podcast. It's the same name on everything. Although on YouTube, you got to look up Southgate Media Group and then look up Nuff Said Playlist. Email nuffsaidpodcast@gmail.com and leave a message via SneakPipe at our webpage, which is southgatemediagroup.com/nuffsaidpodcast. We don't have any tweets or emails or anything to cover because everything is sold because we took a hiatus. We would love to give you some shout outs and hear some theories and ideas. Alil's not going to read it if you spoil him. Spoiler alert, they're in space. But we will definitely give you guys shout outs and talk about stuff. And hey, if there's another Marvel podcast you like, let us know. Maybe we'll try to get a roundtable going with them or something. So get in conversation with us. That's all we can do. Alil, you got any final thoughts?
We're coming for you, Phil. That's it.
Yeah, we are. And congratulations, Professor Esser, on being employed yet again. That's it. I'm done. Enough said.
Enough said.